Good morning. A little after 9 o'clock. It just started. I think it's going to be light and fluffy. Oh boy, that's fingers crossed. And I can't cross my fingers because I have them full of Vaseline. Today is going to be a no makeup day, and I just wanted to check in before I dry my hair. On my neck. If you don't use Vaseline, even if the face is still oily, it feels good. I mean, you don't need it like I do now. My face was always so oily. And it's still not super dry, but oh, this is so good for you. All right, that's gonna stay on. Most of it will absorb in, so it won't matter. Now, when I said no makeup, I'm not a complete heathen. I do have to put some eyebrows on, and I'm gonna dry my hair, and I'll probably style it somewhat. And then we'll come back and talk and check on the progress of hopefully this inch we get. It's calling for 12 to 18 if I'm not mistaken. If it's light, I couldn't care less. I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. I'm chewing on cookie. One of the perks of living here. I just went over for a minute because Nikki wanted to show me something, and Michael just baked cookies. And he told me to grab one on the way by. And I didn't say no. I'm sitting, let me finish chewing. That's better. Cookie's gone. Well, it's not better that the cookie's gone, but now I'll talk to you without chewing. Just drinking because you know it's constant. It's 11:30, Sunday morning. It's been snowing for about 2 hours. That's why I'm sitting here. I hope you can see the little bit of snow. Right now it's still, it's snowing at an okay rate, but it's still just very fluffy. I went out a while ago and remembered to put my windshield wipers up. That makes it much easier for cleaning after. And Michael said he'll go out every couple of hours, so I probably will too. Just while it's light, I don't mind shoveling it. He does not particularly care that I do. It feels good to get out there. And you see, no makeup. I still have the Vaseline on my face. Hope you can see the shine. I didn't wipe it off. And I gave myself some eyebrows. Take me as I am. It's one of those day off things, and I never do that. You know that. So anyway, how are you all? I think 50% of us are getting hit in some way, shape, or form with this storm. You know, I think it's a big deal when it's ice. The snow part up north should not be a big deal. We have had snow before. And they still make it seem like Armageddon. Now, if it gets super heavy, that's another whole thing. But if it doesn't, it's not a big deal at all. It may turn to rain or sleet or get wet in some kind of fashion at the end, and that will be a pain. You know, with us old people, we all lived through the blizzard of 78. Nothing's going to beat that. I remember it being, we couldn't find places to shovel the snow. It was so far over our heads in the driveway at home. And at that point, Steve and I had the 2-family in Dayton, and we had another young couple living downstairs. So there were 4 of us in our early 20s, and it still took us 2 days to shovel it out. We had to stop and do shifts. Right here, it should be that song, Those Were the Days, My Friends. So anyway, ooh, here we go, squirrel, squirrel. I have had a good week. I know all week we've been listening to the snow reports, but it's been a good week. Didn't go out much. Did a lot of playing at home, and I found a new hobby. I'll talk about that in a little while. It's something that really interests me, which is very sad, excuse me. I did go Thursday. I was out of milk, or I wouldn't have gone. Went to the store before all the craziness started, and it was minimal. Michael went Saturday morning. He goes at 6 o'clock in the morning. He said there wasn't a crowd, but there was very little on the shelves. So even in the Northeast, we act like idiots, like we're going to be closed in for a month. They canceled school up here yesterday, so Saturday. They canceled it for Monday. I would assume we should be fine for Tuesday. I don't know that Nikki's school has been canceled yet, but I would assume it most definitely will be at some point today if it hasn't been. Let me tell you about my week. You know that Michael is feeding the deer, which is a good thing because there's been no grass on the ground. He wants to get them used to him and Squish, because Michael's determined at some point he's going to feed them out of his hand, which, knowing Michael, will happen. They're now knowing that he's going to put food out, so they're around much more often. If I can, I'll probably put a picture up here of Michael and Squish the other day with the deer. So one night this week, we're sitting in the living room, and my outside automatic motion detector light went on, the big spotlight. And I got up thinking, oh, I wonder if the deer have come to my side of the house. And I'm looking, and I can't see anything. And I open the door because I'm going to go out and see if there's anything, and look down, and there's this great big beautiful skunk sitting at the top of my stairs looking in the door. Thank goodness I hadn't just opened the other door. I don't know if she wanted to come in. I'm assuming it's a she looked pregnant to me, or she just wanted to say hi, or she wanted to attack me. But she didn't go away right away. And I closed the door, and I'm laughing. I sent Michael a note just saying I have a skunk on my landing, which he thought was wonderful. And then she waddled down, waddled up by my car and around, and came back and did the exact same thing. And then she waddled away to under the neighbor's shed. He's got it lifted on blocks, and I think half the population of animals around here lives under there. Last night I did see the deer on the side of my house in the gully, because that's where there's some grass still. So hopefully Michael will keep everything fed for them right now. It's going to be a little bit before they see grass again. And I do see every night that Michael will have I'll be in bed and I'll see a spotlight. He's got his big handheld spotlight, and he scans the backyard and sees how many there are out there. So I get this free show every night as I'm going to sleep. I love it. When I went shopping the other day, I bought stuff to make soup. I know I can't make soup. I actually bought stew beef, and I never eat beef because I can't chew it well and I can't swallow it well. But I bought stew beef, and I bought, instead of a beef broth, which I had on the shelf, I bought a tomato basil, a red pepper tomato soup that was almost just like a broth container. And I thought, I'll throw that in. It could only help. So I fried up the stew beef for the outside and an onion, put that in, put in a thing of beef broth, some better than beef bouillon, that tomato soup box, potatoes, carrots, and a little bit of spice, just threw some stuff in there. First time in the new house, my soup was edible. I'm gonna have it again today. I said edible, I didn't say wonderful, but it was very edible. So I might have turned a corner on being able to make a bloody basic soup. Friday. Now, you know, my appointment that I've been waiting for 2 months with the sinus ENT to get something solved here is Monday. Beginning of the week, I got I don't know if it was a text or a voicemail from the ENT's office saying they needed a referral or they were going to cancel my appointment. Well, the way they got my name to make the appointment was from the referral from the doctor's office. And I sent them a voicemail back and just said, I don't think the left hand knows what the right hand's doing, folks, but you called me. You had the referral. Tuesday, I think, Wednesday, they called and said, I know you had a referral to come to us, but we need an insurance referral. I don't do well with this stuff. It's like the repetition is unbelievable. And she said, without that, we're going to cancel. Fine. So I emailed my primary and said they need the referral, insurance referral, please get it done. They're going to cancel my appointment if you don't, da-da-da-da. I've been waiting for months. Friday around 2, I get a call from my primary. But they've been reaching out to these people. They've left voicemails and emails. They need the, whatever it is, number for the provider, what their medical number is. And they've got to fax it over, and they don't list a fax number. Fine. So now I have to call the ENT. And I'm on hold. We're now 3 o'clock, 3:30 before I get through to them. While I'm on the phone waiting, I get another text from them, from the ENT, saying my appointment's been canceled for not having a referral. I have an immediate headache, so I'm holding and holding and holding. You're fourth in line, you're third in line. It takes half an hour. I get to the first in line. Now I know they're going to be miserable. You know it, just going in. So I was extra nice and said, what happened? You know, I need da-da-da-da-da. He goes, well, we can't reinstate it until the referral comes in. I said, I get that, but I need the number and the fax. Could you just get in touch with them? No. I'll give it, they give it to me, I can do it. And I went, fine, but can you reinstate that appointment? I don't want to lose it for Monday. No, it's impossible. And we don't have the referral on hand. And I said, but you didn't do it. No. So they said, no, it's canceled, I'll have to call back. I finally get what I need. I call the primary. It's 4 o'clock, they're closed for the weekend. I have no appointment. Waiting 2 months. And I have no appointment. Nobody flippin' cares. I am beyond frustrated. You know, I take a Zyrtex in the morning, a Zyrtex at night. I take 6 or 7 over-the-counter cough things. have you done the Fisherman's cough drops? They're vial and they work. I spent $47 this week on enough cough drops for the month. Michael brought in this big package and said, I don't know what this is. I said, I do, it's cough drops. Nah, open it up, yeah. It's a big thing of cough drops. And Nikki said, you need all those? Never mind, yeah, you do. I hear you all day long, she said. So nobody will be there Monday with this storm. I'm sure everything will be closed, which is why I wasn't terribly concerned when I didn't hear from anybody. First of all, I figured they figured it out amongst themselves. How naive am I? And second of all, nobody's going to be open tomorrow. So Tuesday, I have to start all over again. And I think this time, I have to take the first one available, and Michael and Nikki will have to take time off so that I can go. I don't even want to go back to these people. I have such a bad taste in my mouth, but they're covered by my insurance and they're local. Isn't that pretty bad that those are the prerequisites now? I have no idea if they're even any good. We'll find that out if I ever get there. My new hobby. For those of you who aren't grandparents of young people or don't have young people in your lives, little people, magnet tiles. They're magnet tiles that the kids can build things with, or the old people can build things with. I have decided I love magnet tiles. I'm building ramps. I'm building things for cars to go up and down. Squish looks at me like, can we play with something else? So yeah, I've got a new hobby. Children's magnet tiles. I think I'd play with them even more if she wasn't around. I have gotten her out just about every day. I think of something that makes her want to go outside. And we've been putting chalk in the driveway. I think I said I had to buy another thing of chalk. This week was building, 20-foot snowmen in the driveway because the snow around here was melting and we couldn't build any more here. She was very concerned that our snowmen had melted and the eyes and nose and mouth were gone and there were little points left where they used to be. So we had driveway snowmen, which then she wanted to color in like she does everything else. But it gets her outside. And we're in our heavy winter coats whether we need it or not, just so if we do get cold, we don't freeze to death. And if not, I can take hats and gloves off. Michael's taken her out a couple times and hates her little gloves. I found a video online to show him how you can put them on almost inside out on your own fingers and take them out and stick their hands in the holes. So I'm hoping, I haven't tried that yet. I don't have a real problem with putting her gloves on, but I even think that would be a little bit better. So I'll get to try that in the next couple days, I would assume. The other thing I got this week, I digress. I had to clean out another big drawer for all of Squish's things because I got her paints last week, and this week I got glitter and glue. I knew it was going to be a blooming mess. I don't care. Glitter everywhere. You can't vacuum it up. You can't sweep it up. You can't use wet towels and get it up. My floors are going to be glittered till spring. And Nikki said, they have glue with glitter in it. And I just looked at her and went, what fun is that? Really? Making a mess is what a kid is all about. And Squish made all the little glue lines and used all different colors of glitter, had an absolute ball. And then it was for Daddy. The other thing she did the other day? We play make-believe school all the time where I tell her, the teacher wants you to do this and that. And it's part of what's getting her going. And I have to address something else. Don't let me forget. I said to her, you know you know your name and you know where you live and all that. You're going to have to spell your name too. And she knows how to spell it. And I said, and you're going to have to learn how to write it. And she said, I think I know how. Remember, she's 2.5. She went over to her whiteboard and wrote her name. Not perfectly, but there's an M in her name, she got it. There's an N in her name, she got it. She knew how to do her name. Nikki came home and went, did Squish write her name on the board or did you? I went, no, that was all her. Wow. And I didn't forget, look at that. It's a mind like a sieve, and right now it just held something for a minute. Somebody on our Facebook page, I think, maybe it was on the YouTube site, I talked about how I'm running into problems getting her to do things without a little bit of a fight. And she has said, put all the tasks, write them out on a board or something, and she can cross them off. And I immediately thought, oh, a whiteboard. She would love that. So this week, right away, I wrote it. I didn't have it up there without her. I wrote it with her there. Wash, brush teeth, comb hair, get dressed, and then take vitamins. I forgot vitamins the first day, she reminded me, and play. All I had to do was explain to her what we did with that. I have not had a problem all week. She looks at it, I write it up when we start talking, and she goes, okay, let's go. And she runs to get everything, and I have her come out and, cross it out as we do each thing. She's in heaven. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I should have thought of that myself because I know how structured she likes things, but very nice. And even doing that has started her not fighting so much about other things like, put your shoes on to go outside. I still hear no, but I just get the shoes and put them down, and she gets them on. And she zips up her jacket, or more unzips her jacket. Even the snow pants. And she says, I hate these. And I said, yeah, but watch how fast we can do it. She's not fighting any of that stuff. So I've turned a corner for this week now. Next week, she will decide that she's no longer enthralled with this. This week, she is. A funny thing, she every once in a while decides she wants to take showers at my house. Nikki gives her a bath at night, but I won't say no. Mainly because she takes her 2,000 little people and cars and stuff in my shower, and she likes my shower. She's in there the other day, and I popped the heat up high. I actually put the second heater in there and sit there and swelter while she plays for half an hour. She's out, she's ready. She doesn't want to dry off in there, and I've got her 90% dry, but she wants to come out here, which is 20 degrees cooler than in there. So, I open the door, I bring the heater out right away, and she stands, 6 inches from it and turns herself like she's a chicken on a rotisserie. And I'm in there, cleaning up real fast while she's naked out here. But this is what she wants, and she's drying and she's warm. Michael opens the door and sees this butt-naked little kid in my kitchen at 11 o'clock in the morning. He goes, what is going on? And she's just laughing. We had such a good time. But I think if anybody walked in here during the day to see a lot of the stuff that's going on, they would be appalled or amazed or amused. I'm not sure which. So with the snow just getting here this morning, it's supposed to snow all day. It's coming down pretty good tonight and most of tomorrow. Yesterday, they got the generator out of the box. They got gas and they tried it and it worked, started up. The first time, Nikki's up there playing with it. Mike would rather be in here with Squish because he does enough hands-on stuff all week. So Nikki, got the generator outside and she's filling it with gas, and there's gas leaking as she does it. And Michael goes out with her and they come back in, and Nikki said, you spend all this money, get the generator, gas is leaking out of it, so I troubleshoot it. And the first thing it said is, if there's gas leaking, this is the solution for it. Take a big hammer and smack the connection, because sometimes it gets stuck in transit. And if it worked, so she was very happy, but she said, the first thing I have to do is brand new equipment, and I'm hitting it with a hammer. So it's working, it's ready, it's full of gas. Paula, I'll give the thumbs up really to Nikki, but I'm sure Michael helped her. So we're ready. I don't see us losing power. Oh, that was probably the wrong thing to say. But because the snow's light. And it's not going to be all on the trees like it was last time. It's not heavy enough. I don't think there'll be a snowman made out of this unless it turns heavy at the end, which will be horrible. And looking at our Facebook page this morning, Tennessee, Jan had said they had lots of snow overnight and it was already raining hard. And then it was supposed to freeze and then it's supposed to turn back to snow. So they're in trouble down there. Hopefully, I don't want to say it, but please keep it. The light and fluffy, I love. I don't need ice and heavy because then I can't help shovel and I really want to help. So for the next day, I don't have anything planned. I read a book yesterday. I haven't done that in months. Now, my reading, I read about 600 words a minute. They tested me a long time ago because I don't remember characters' names, where they live. I don't remember all the descriptive stuff because I don't need it for the storyline. So I just skim and I can read a book in 2 hours. Enough to know what happened, who it happened to, who done it, and I'm done. But I read one. It was adequate. I'm not into reading right now, but it still was adequate rather than sit on the couch and just do YouTube videos. Which I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm following along with the 2 guys from Britain who are up in the UP, the north of Minnesota right now, or Michigan, who are up in the North Peninsula. Yeah, I don't know, but they're up there. And I'm way too invested in that. So my plan is soup. Probably steal some more cookies from Michael. What I should do is clean out the pantry, and I do not want to. The pantry, that long shelves of storage for everything I own, has just become a catch-all recently. As I've tried to clean out drawers, redo the spice drawers and redo things like that, I've thrown everything in there, even Christmas stuff. And right now it's overflowing and looks like heck, and it's nothing that belongs there, and I need to get it under control. Not today. So I've got too much junk in the house right now. And I've got to pay attention to that. I mean, I want to anyway, but Michael mentioned that while I'm out west with Karen and Bernie in April, Nikki has a very close friend in Florida who has not flown up here since the wedding. And she's an older woman, not as old as me, but older. And Michael asked if while I'm away, if she could stay here in my house and visit for 3 or 4 days, which I'm all over. I think that's wonderful. It's a nice way for her to come up, still have some privacy, except for the cats. And I said, absolutely. But now I'm thinking, oh man, you better deep clean this house in the next couple months. So that will be on my list because I'm nothing if not anal. I have asked everybody on our Facebook page to check in as the storm goes by. Let us know, you've got your power, you've got your heat. It's interesting to watch the tracking. It's interesting to have friends from Australia telling us how bloomin' hot it is down there. And and they're telling us that they're thinking of us. We're thinking of you too, with your heat on the beach. So check in, comments. Let me know how it's going. Let me know what you're faced with. It's very interesting, and we all love reading the different comments. And if you can, please like, subscribe, share, check your subscriptions, make sure they're still active, because we know how YouTube likes to do that. I think I'm done. Something wonderful is going to happen today. Could just be the beauty of a snowstorm, but keep your eye out. Let us know what it is. Take care.